This is TWiT. Let's talk about iOS and iPadOS 14. We're developers. I saw a lot of people say, oh, developers are shocked that Apple's pushing it out the day after the event. Did that really take people off guard?
Yeah, definitely.
It did?
I think it took the tech bloggers off guard.
Well, a lot of developers I've spoken to is that they kind of, when Apple gets so predictable, and here is what happens, here is what has happened almost every single time before they've released it to the public, they kind of plan on it and they put all of their time budgeting into it. So a lot of people were really, really shocked that, okay, well, we didn't have time to really do the final spate of tests on our app that we were supposed to be doing, but good luck, everybody.
Yikes. I was kind of thinking that was going to happen because they had the beta 7 and beta 8 in rapid succession. That always feels to me like.
But they usually say it's GM at the event. And past is not always predicate, but usually at the event, someone says they're going into GM today and they'll be released next week because that's a day before the new iPhone is released. Yeah. But 2020, Leo, it makes every Devlin Emmerich movie look like they undershot the disaster rainbow by quite a bit.
Also, think about this. Okay, you know how there was the original rumors that they were actually going to release the Apple Watch just with a press release the previous week?
Right.
So timeline-wise, that lines up with the launch of watchOS and iOS and everything because it's almost like they didn't push out the software early as much as they released the hardware a week later than they were originally planned to, because that aligns more with it having been launched on, I don't know, was that the 15th or something like that? I don't even remember anymore what the original rumor was that it would come out. But think about that. So maybe.
Good point.
Maybe they postponed the hardware.
Interesting.
Maybe they're just big meanies who hate developers.
Well, and a lot of developers quickly leapt into action. James Thompson immediately got a pCalc widget out, or dice. Actually,
I love him so much.
It's a dice widget.
It's a dice widget.
We did on iOS earlier today, we did a bunch of widgets. There are quite a few widgets now, third-party widgets are out, and I think there's some very nice ones if you want kind of a review of a few.
TikTok is so lit with custom home screens.
Well,
they're everywhere.
Can I just say how joyful widgets have made social media? Because every single person who's done that's the reason why they're impatient to download and install iOS 14, because they want to play with widgets. And now, oh look, I put my kid's photo here, and now I've got this widget there. It's like, oh, I'm so happy to see everybody so happy. Like usually, it's rare that I can't remember the last time Apple has released a feature that has made so many people so joyful at the same time.
This is a TikTok, what do you call him, influencer, who is now up to like almost 1 million followers, Catamogs on Fleek Creative, who is really racking up the views, 9.1 million views on how to make your iOS 14 home screen aesthetic AF. 9 million views on TikTok, and that's after the president shut it down. So
just eat the widgets.
Yeah, actually, this is Widgetsmith, which we showed, and I thank her because she taught me how to use Widgetsmith to make my home screen aesthetic AF.
David Smith is another one of those genius developers. Like, you always have your James Thompsons, your Davids. I think David Smith probably did 6 apps the day they announced iOS 14. He's so productive.
Yeah. So that's good. I mean, and I have to say, I'm liking these widgets. These are not as capable as Android widgets. They're not really live exactly. You can't enter text in them or anything like that. But
They're
Apple Watch widgets that are meant to conserve battery life at all costs.
Right.
Yeah. But I also think and I also think that they're covering most of what people, even in the Android world, use widgets for. I think they really took the best meat off of the bone, and they're it would be great if we could set up individual pages with active widgets there. When I travel, remember traveling, I would almost rebuild my phone to turn it into like I can get at any piece of information that I need, or any note taking, any reference in like 1 or 2 swipes. But mostly what I'm using it for is I want to see what's the weather going to be like, or I want a shortcut to a certain app or a certain feature that lets me tunnel all the way down into the feature that I want. I'm so one of the first widgets that I installed, as a matter of fact, was the Google widget on my iPhone, because and unfortunately now it is easier. I feel as though it's easier to access Google Lens, which is one of my favorite Google features of all time. It's faster to access it on my iPhone than it is on my Android phone, because it's built into. Yeah, it's built into the. So I have to basically activate the assistant. So that's one swipe, and then I have to remember like how to. With Lens, it's like I'm in a store. Actually, the first time I used it, I was in an antique shop over the weekend, and there was this beautifully like bronze plaque with some sort of saying on it in, I believe, German, and it was very, very decorative. But given its age, I absolutely wanted to make sure I knew what that phrase said in English before I even considered buying it. And I had both phones in my pocket. I actually wound up like going directly to Apple to the iPhone, because that's the one that I remember that, if I actually just tap this one button, it will translate. It's going to translate the German for me immediately.
The one thing that's amazing to me is like it feels like the iOS team at Google, the iPhone team, loves the iPhone slightly more than the Android team loves the Pixel, but all of them hate the iPad. It just that's the psychology inside Google. For some reason, like they will make all these features immediately available for the iPhone, but you want a side-by-side app on the iPad, you're waiting 5 years.
I think that inside they have an institutional problem with tablet size anything.
Yes.
And even their own damn. I'm so shocked. I was when I got my first Chromebook that I was going to be using in anger. I was so surprised that the right answer is not going to be, obviously I'm going to download the Android Google Docs app, and that's going to be a full. No, it actually doesn't work nearly as well as the web-based Google Docs. So this is don't feel as though Apple doesn't like iPads. They just are distrustful of any square acreage beyond, I don't know, like 8 square inches. They feel as though there be dragons on the old timey like seafarers map. Do not cross this pixel dimension.
I have to say I was very shocked at how iPhone users have jumped on widgets. I would have thought that would be a feature that they would just go, oh no, I like my grid of icons. Thank you very much.
It's new, Leo. Everyone likes
but there's
new
a
stuff.
lot of new things people don't jump on. I mean, maybe we'll see if it has longevity. People jumped on Memoji, but for a day.
Yeah.
It's new, and it's and you can make your screen look like it's work, and especially now because there's no theme kit still. Like there's been rumors of theme kit for a few years, but we've never actually seen it. So people are using this as a de facto way to customize their home screens, which some people have been wanting to do for a long time.
Apparently,
but it's a pain in the butt. So will they keep doing it? Who knows? I'm hoping that Apple actually releases a proper theme kit, and there's a quote unquote bug that prevents you from setting Comic Sans or Marker Felt as your default font. But other than that, lets you do you.
Yeah. Well, actually, some of these widget maker widgets do have Marker Felt fonts. So sorry. Bad news. I don't think they have Comic Sans.
We should have Merlin call David and just like have words with him.
Is that who did this
widget
maker? Who did this widget maker?
Yeah, Widget Smith is _ David Smith, who did like Sleep Plus Plus and a ton of other, like so many. It feels like 8 apps a year.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. He does power the weather data with dark sky, so maybe he's been working on it for a long time. I don't know. I don't know. Will that still work? Probably not. Good. Oh, that's good. Okay. So this is not. At first I thought, this is some janky, app that will not be very good, but in fact it's quite powerful. Yeah. Pretty amazing. Yeah.
This is. I hope Apple. I'm sure Apple is observing and listening that every time the way that iOS users manage to morph and twist a basic feature into doing something unexpected and wonderful. Like everything that users did to exploit the ability to put pictures and put animations underneath the watch face, like some of these are just heroically done. They really look like brand new watch faces or brand new like data portals almost. And everything that people are doing to make widgets do the things that they want to do, you got that's some really good marketing research. That just shows you that, look, if people are willing to suffer that bad and use this really, really janky sort of hack to get an approximation of this feature, maybe we ought to give them this feature for real.
Yeah. Well, it's something that's been in Android for years, but now that it's in Apple, people are jumping up and down saying, yay.
Yep. And shame on, speaking of social media, shame on all the Android people. Oh, welcome to 2008 Apple. Like, why can't you be happy for people who are happy? Why does it bother you?
I just borrow Stephen Hackett's 2007 era Mac and just swap to dashboard and go, look, dashboard.
Dashboard. Yeah.
Oh God, give me a scrapbook widget. Give me like an old school System 6.02 scrapbook widget. I will switch back to iPhone so damn fast.
The Lisa calculator. I would take all the desktop early Mac, early Lisa widgets, right?
I suppose developers could do that, right? They could do that. There's not. Yeah. Well, you can't make a live calculator with the widget capabilities. You can't.
Oh, but I forget the name. Lory will know it because it's Meili and Bridger Maxwell's company, but they put a whiteboard in a widget, and it's brilliant, and I'm blanking on the name.
You can draw on it?
Nope.
I'm totally blanking on it.
I'm blanking on the name too.
Something like that.
Is it for iOS?
She used to work at Apple. Yeah, she used to work at Apple on the design on Johnny Ive's team, and he was at Apple too. I forget where he is now. He's an ace coder. And
Inco?
They crammed.
Is it Inco?
I'll tell you in 2 seconds. I just got to launch.
I'm just Googling
messages and see where.
Whiteboard widgets. But I thought you couldn't.
Scribble together.
Scribble together.
Oh, it's using Scribble though. That's why
I was thinking iScribble, and I knew that was wrong.
The app predates it. It's
really?
The app is called Scribble Together.
It's an app, but does it have a widget?
Yeah.
They just updated it with that, right? Yeah.
That's so okay. So I didn't understand that. Oh, I remember this. We played with this. Yes, we played with this in iOS today. Yes. This is so cool. So this has a widget? Oh, man.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, this lets you do collaborative scribbling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meili and Bridger Maxwell.